from our RV family adventure. The whole family is here. Palmer's running around over here. The boys are on a walk and we are so excited to be here. Our first stop of the trip is Silver Springs State Park. So that's where we're staying for the night, and we have some little adventures that we're gonna experience here. And I'm so thankful to be partnering with Go RVing for this trip. This is our first family RV trip, but I have some fond memories of going on an RV trip with one of my childhood best friends growing up, and I'm so thankful to be making these memories with my little family. So we're going to be exploring a few different Florida state parks, beautiful springs, and just some of the natural treasures that we have here in our beautiful state. It's actually America's 250th anniversary this year, so it is absolutely the perfect time to go out, explore the national parks, your state parks, and just treasure all of the beautiful nature that we have here. Do you like RV life, Palmer? You like anything if we're together. Having a fridge really is a game changer. We have it nice and stocked up. I made a batch of overnight oats for quick breakfast, and then we also have some pickles from home and some orzo salad. I love them in these little jars for packing a picnic.
Quite spacious.
Mm-hmm.
And a crate there.
Oh yes, and we have a freezer up here. Silver Springs State Park is absolutely beautiful. I can't believe this was our first time on the glass bottom boats. We were blown away. It was so neat to look in that crystal clear blue water and see all of the wildlife so clearly. Our son absolutely loved it. A few minutes into the boat ride, we ended up seeing a manatee too, which was so incredibly special. We also saw an alligator resting and soaking up the sun on the bank, and some turtles. We did the 30-minute boat tour, but they also have an extended boat tour, but 30 minutes was perfect for our little family, and we still were able to see so much wildlife and learn interesting history about the park. Glass bottom boats were actually invented here in the 1870s by attaching a piece of glass to the bottom of a rowboat. Many movies were filmed here as well, including some of the original Tarzan films and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And another very interesting tidbit about this park is that it is actually home to non-native wild monkeys that were introduced in the 1930s for tourism purposes. So they're still living in the park, and you can sometimes spot them while you're on a boat ride, kayaking, or walking along one of the boardwalks. After the park started losing popularity due to the modern theme parks in the 70s, it was brought under the Florida Park Service in 2013, and since then they've been focusing on restoring the area. As I was brainstorming and planning this trip, I really knew that I wanted to enjoy all that Florida has to offer, the crystal clear springs, the wildlife, and I was kind of stuck on what campsites would best fit that itinerary. And GoRVing.com was so helpful and has a plethora of resources that guided me as I was planning this RV journey and adventure. So definitely check it out. I'm thankful to share our personal itinerary and journey, but they have so many resources to help guide you as you plan your next adventure. We're about to leave for our next stop. Silver Springs was beautiful.
It was.
Loved it. The glass bottom boat tour exceeded my expectations.
You saw a manatee, like right off the bat, and then an alligator right after that.
It's a little past manatee season, so it was kind of unlikely to see a manatee, but
yeah, the captain said that was pretty rare, so that was special,
really
especially
thankful
for you, the manatee lover.
They're my favorite animals, so that was really cool. Turtles, fish. We didn't see the monkeys,
Birds.
but we saw evidence of the monkey.
We did.
And maybe next time, but there's so much interesting history here, so definitely want to go back. Highly recommend. And now we're off to our old stomping grounds. We're headed to Mechanipe, which is adjacent to Gainesville, which is where we went to school, our alma mater.
Go Gators.
So we're excited to check that out. Paynes Prairie State Park is in Mechanipe, which we passed every time we went back to school and have some memories there, but now we're gonna spend the night and fully explore it a bit more. But the first stop, we're gonna hopefully get some pizza at one of our favorite pizza places in Gainesville. Satchel's was one of our favorite date night spots in college. We love how funky it is and how much art there is everywhere. It's actually owned by an artist, so the amount of creative details sprinkled throughout the restaurant is really inspiring. And they also have this play area for kids, which I don't remember them having in the past, but maybe I just never noticed because we weren't in that stage of life. But our meal was so delicious and it was super sweet to go down memory lane. They also have this fun gift shop, so we looked around for a bit and I was in awe of the back of the bar. It was covered in these puzzles and I just thought that was such an incredible detail. We then made the short drive over to Paynes Prairie, and this is such a special state park. It is a 22,000 acre savanna, and it's home to wild roaming bison and horses. American bison are native to the area, but due to development and hunting, their population was eliminated. They were reintroduced in 1975 at Paynes Prairie, so it's really special that a wild herd still roams here. You can also see some classic Florida wildlife here though, like alligators in more swampy sections of the park. And of course, many beautiful native bird species. We went up to the observation deck and walked the trails for a little bit. We ended up stumbling upon an armadillo and this bright green frog before heading to our campsite. Just being here is bringing back so much nostalgia and fond memories, and I'm so excited that we're taking our son and our dog. Palmer has never been here either. So we were able to soak up a bit of Paynes Prairie's beauty today, this afternoon, but I'm hopeful we'll have more time in the morning. I actually saw a bison when we were driving in, so that was incredible. It's not often that you see bison in Florida, so it's really special. They also have wild Spanish horses and a bunch of other wildlife. So the plan is to wake up and enjoy a morning at the prairie, if you will. But it's just been such a beautiful day. I love Silver Springs State Park and that glass boat tour. Can't recommend it enough. So excited to see what tomorrow brings. We're getting nice and cozy for the night. We actually can fit our pack and play within the RV once the extension is out, which is so helpful if you're also traveling with a little one. So everyone has their cozy designated sleeping quarters. It's just a lovely situation. Good morning. We are seizing the day up nice and early. We got the water heating up on the stove so we can make some coffee. And we're back at the Paynes Prairie Visitor Center actually because my friend Caroline from college is coming to visit us and hike some of the trails with us, so that'll be nice. And I was thinking it's so nice that we're able to go at our own pace, especially with a toddler, because you know we have nap times and sometimes we need more time to rest, or sometimes we're just ready to keep rolling and exploring. So that's kind of where we're at today. We're gonna hang out here for a little bit, hopefully see some more wildlife, and then we're gonna check out this really neat spring along the Swanee River. That's one of my favorite parts of Florida, are all the natural springs. So there's much to enjoy, much to explore. Let's go see what's out there. That's the cutie cup wheel. The visitor center at Paynes Prairie is really beautiful with lots of educational and interactive moments for you and the kids. We really enjoyed it and spent a good amount of time here, and it was so nice to see my friend Caroline. We ended up going back up to the observation deck to soak in the views. And another great option if you are visiting the area but don't have time to fully explore Paynes Prairie, they actually have two different observation decks. One is on US Route 441 and there's another one on I-75, and we also have really sweet memories here watching the sunrise and sunset. There's some roadside parking spots where you can easily pull over and take in the views while you're on your journey. I'm so thankful we ended up stopping here because we ended up seeing wild horses in the distance, which again is very special and a rarity. Then it was time to head up to North Florida, and we stopped at a very worthy pit stop, this place called the Farm Stand in Branford, Florida. It was so charming. They had a little grocery section where you could get fresh produce and farm delicacies like homemade jam and local honey, and they have phenomenal Mexican food. I got the quesadilla and it was delicious. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. They also have you pick strawberries during certain times of year and flower fields, so it was really nice to stretch our legs here. Our next pit stop was Little River Springs along the Swanee River. This is such a beautiful place. As you can tell, I just adore the Florida Springs, and this one feels unique because it truly is riverside along the Swanee, and the landscape is a little different than the springs that we have near our home, so it was really neat to take in. And there were some shallow spots which was perfect for kids, but then they also have the deeper, of course, spring entrance, and we even saw a scuba diver who was exiting. The scuba diver had been exploring the underwater cave system. It's just so wild to think about exploring a whole other world down there. Loved taking a refreshing dip in the water before continuing our drive up north. This road sign made us giggle. It says camp in Florida State Parks, not the left lane. We got time on our side. We're in a state of home. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you. We are now at Florida Caverns State Park, all the way in the north part of Florida. We're actually in a different time zone. We went back in time today. It's an hour difference than Central Florida and most of Florida, so that was pretty exciting. But Palmer and I are chilling outside. We set up our camp. We're feeling cozy. Little man is already sleeping. Palmer is loving checking out everybody's RV sites, which I am too. There's so much good inspiration of different setups. I put up some string lights, which I'm loving. It feels very cozy. So the plan is we're probably just going to have a relaxing night, and then in the morning we're going to do a campfire breakfast. We were actually under a burn ban at our first two sites due to the lack of rain, so it wasn't safe to do a campfire. But in this county we are able to do a campfire, so we're going to make some yummy breakfast, probably do a campfire lunch too, we'll see, and then we have a cave tour in the afternoon, which is our main event, which we're very much looking forward to. I'm sleepy. Another armadillo spotting. They're following us. Good morning. Brandon's working on the fire and we are going to have a delicious breakfast this morning. I thought of this new recipe, this new camping recipe. I'm sure someone has done it before, but I was thinking we could do some sort of baked potato. And as I was thinking it through, I was like, how good would baked potato nachos be? So we have our cast iron skillet and I already roasted the potatoes and cut them into like coin shapes, and then we'll put our toppings on it, and I'm hoping it'll be as delicious as it is in my brain. Look at this feast that's coming together. Now it's time for the toppings. We got some sour cream, and dollops of that. And then we have some shredded cheese and scallions. Ooh, I have hot sauce too, that would be good. Delicious. Bon appetit.
Great idea. Taste test.
Taste test. That's yummy.
It's a good level of crispiness.
Try it at your next camping trip. It's
So
good.
what do you call it?
I call it baked potato nachos.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah. That's so good, right?
That was really good. The cast iron worked its magic.
Yes, I love it. We also got this cute little cast iron handle cover from Gainesville when we were visiting Paynes Prairie. So it's a cute souvenir.
Yummy hot sauce. Well done.
Woohoo! Well done to the chef.
You're the chef.
Sous chef. We're the dynamic duo. Birds are chirping and baby boy is taking a rest. Brandon's inside with him, also just taking some downtime. We're enjoying it. We're staying at this campground 2 nights in a row, so we've been able to take things slower, which has felt really nice. I'm doing a little craft time, a little craft moment. I'm filling out my RV travel passport. It's been really fun just to take notes and keep a little log of all the stops we visited. I got some stickers from some of the state parks, but then I also have just been cutting out little pieces from maps and whatnot. I brought a pair of scissors and a glue stick, so I started filling out our Florida Caverns page. I'll probably see if the gift shop has a sticker there as well, but we are just gonna hang out here until baby boy wakes up. I think I actually might go explore a little bit. There's some trails around our site, so I'm gonna go check those out and then maybe switch off with Brandon, and then we'll go do our tour at 4 p.m. But we'll probably try to get there early so we can explore the area further and just see what there is to see. We stopped at a local creamery for an afternoon ice cream break. It was absolutely delicious. I'm so thankful we did the cave tour at Florida Caverns State Park. It was incredibly interesting. And again, even though we live in Florida, this isn't something that we see every day in our backyard. So it was very interesting and we learned so much. This is actually the only state park in Florida offering public tours of dry, air-filled limestone caves. And the caves also are a habitat for blind cave crayfish, cave salamanders, and 3 species of roosting bats. We were even able to spot a couple bats that were resting during our tour. The limestones within the caverns is part of the same rock layer that forms the massive underground aquifer, which is our major source of fresh water here in Florida. And within the cave tour, you can typically see where the water runs up through the aquifer, and then sometimes you can see the crayfish and salamanders. But as I previously mentioned, Florida is under a drought right now. We didn't get any hurricanes this season, so the water level is super low right now, but I found that to be so fascinating. Here's one of the little roosting bats we saw on our tour. It was absolutely adorable. It is tiny. They nicknamed it the chicken nugget bat species because it's about the size of a chicken nugget. Once our tour ended, we decided to hike around some of the neighboring trails and explore a little bit. And then it started sprinkling, typical Florida. So we made haste back to our RV and drove over back to our campsite. We're heating up some dinner. It's a little sprinkly outside, so thankfully we have our stovetop, an oven, a microwave, so we can heat up some leftovers. That is so handy. And it's smelling really good. We're just gonna settle in, enjoy our final night on our RV trip. I can't believe it's coming to an end. It's been so special. I'm walking Palmer and just noticed that someone left this adorable painted rock at the entrance of our campsite. How beautiful and sweet, a little magical moment. When we were walking around the campground, this nice couple who was also staying in an RV mentioned that we should check out the bat house at sunset, which we didn't even know there was a bat house right near our site. So we took their advice, and I'm so glad we did because it was so neat to see the bats leaving their home for the night and flying off into sunset. Resting on the myth of old. That's a wrap on our first family RV trip. I'm already scheming our next destination. I know there's some coastal campsites in Florida, and I feel like beach RV camping is next on the list, but it was pretty cool. It would be, but it was such a sweet time. So very thankful. What was your trip highlight? I was brainstorming mine, and it's tricky.
I don't know. I always loved being in Gainesville. That's just special. So
that's true.
Paynes Prairie was nostalgia, and then getting in the satchels didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Pizza stop was awesome.
That was.
Oh. What about you?
I think my highlight was just having a slow morning today and making our world famous baked potato nachos.
Those were excellent. Which we had for dinner too.
Yeah, the leftovers were also
just heated them
delicious.
Up on the cast iron skillet again.
Yeah, easy peasy.
But yeah, I think what you said though, the good point was the slower morning. So, because we had 2 nights here, whereas the other places we only had 1 night, which was nice, and we like doing things, but it is nice to have a little more time to do whatever, or have a more peaceful morning, or make a fire, because that was a little bit of a process. So. Yeah,
no, it was such a sweet trip. Very thankful for the family memories together. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see you next. Bye.
Bye.